wanted to talk to you about some of the reasons why you'd want to use a coin-operated car wash versus a automatic car wash, or even just washing the car at home. One of the main reasons why you'd want to use a car wash that is a coin-operated car wash or a self-serve car wash is it gives you a lot of options and control over how you're cleaning your car and what you're cleaning your car with. It gives you some really important and good resources like spot-free wash, spot-free rinse, high-pressure soap, high-pressure wax, all those things you can't really duplicate at your house. Plus, many cities actually have restrictions on your ability to wash your car in your driveway. So what ends up happening is that you can get a ticket, or you can have some issues or problems getting fined or cited just from actually washing your car in your driveway. So we're at Grand Prix Car Wash in Anaheim. It's not far from Disneyland, just up the street. And they just recently, it's a family-owned business, and they just recently refurbished this entire facility. Super nice. This is what you want to look for. You want to look for a place that's clean, that's kept up well, that has new brushes, tile walls, new hoses, nothing's leaking. You know, that's going to be your best bet for a high-quality wash. If they're not keeping care of their place, they probably don't have new chemicals. And this place, they keep everything fully stocked and use very high-quality chemicals and additives, which is very resourceful. From a basic level, the concept of how you wash your car is pretty simple. Everything you're doing is going to be washing from top to bottom, right? So when you hit the rinse cycle, you want to rinse from top to bottom. When you do the soap, you want to go from top to bottom. You want to move stuff from the top surfaces and side surfaces, middle surfaces, top of the hood, top of the trunk, push it off and around the vehicle and over the sides. It's pretty easy to do that here because you've got some nice equipment, you know, pressure washers, stuff like that, that allow you to kind of blast the stuff off. If you see any big, large chunks on your vehicle, if you have any grain, like gravel or grains of sand or anything like that, you want to make sure that you are kind of lightly or gently brushing those things off instead of just washing them down in or pushing them into the vehicle. What I'm going to do here today is I'm going to use almost all of the selections they have on their gun over there. Low pressure pre-soak, low pressure tire and engine cleaner, soap, foaming brush rinse, and wax and spot-free rinse. Pre-soak, outside of the car, wheels, wheel wells, different things like that. That's what you want to use that for. Low pressure tire and engine cleaner. That's going to, I don't recommend spraying anything on your engine unless you know and understand exactly what you are spraying on your engine and what effect that's going to have. Like if you spray something on your distributor, is it going to keep your engine from running? So don't, tires are fine, suspension's fine, brakes are fine. Make sure you know what you're doing if you spray something on your engine. The soap is the next thing that you'd spray on the vehicle, and that's like a high pressure soap. Give it a second for it to cycle through, and then you'll see some foam coming out of the cannon. Spray that over the vehicle. You don't want to get too close. You want to stay about 6 to 8 inches away. Don't get any closer than that. And you kind of want to, again, sweep from top to bottom. Foamy brush happens next. We'll do that, and we'll go over that as we're doing it. But essentially, you want to brush off of the vehicle. You don't want to really do circular motion or a sweeping motion back and forth. You want to push from one side to the other, pushing any debris straight off the vehicle. And then you have a high pressure rinse. It is high pressure. Make sure you stay a little bit further away. I just do that to get the main stuff off, and then I switch to a high pressure wax. And then I will spend more time washing or rinsing with the high pressure wax. And then finally, the most amount of time will kind of be spent on that low pressure spot free rinse, because I want to make sure that I cleared the line and I've got to the filtered or clarified water. And then I want to make sure that I've rinsed all of that water off of the actual car. So I'm starting here with a low pressure pre-wash. It's like a kind of soak. I want to keep letting it run until I get some soap. You can see the soap starting to come out right now, right? Again, I'm brushing from top to bottom. So I hit the roof, hit the sides here. Across the top of the windshield, bring it down. Go across the front of the hood. Go down the sides. Same thing again, going up here. I'm staying away from my windows. You don't need to spray a lot of high pressure water at your windows or your gaskets, especially on a vintage vehicle. It's not going to help you. It's not going to make anything any better. Now I'm going to switch over to the low pressure tire and engine cleaner. I'm going to focus on my wheels. You just hold the trigger down. Come in here. If you have a fender skirt, it's nice because you can actually reach up around the wheel with this. So you can take your fender skirts off if you want, but it's not necessary. A light circular motion and gently go over my hubcap. Again, I'm holding the trigger down the whole time and pushing up inside there so I can clear that area. You can also go up into your wheelhouse around there. It's fine. So I'm going to hit my wheelhouse through here. And again, circular. Holding the trigger down the whole time. Gently hit your hubcap. Hit more of your wheelhouse. Now we're going to switch over to a high pressure soap. Hold it off to the side. Let it go for a second. Come down if you can. I'm tall, it's easy for me, but you still want to try to do this. Reach down. Go across the middle. Working towards the side. I'm not very close, right? No, I'm not getting any closer than this, right? Come down through the sides here, come across the back, and come up like this and push off the trunk. Push off the trunk. Be mindful of your weather stripping on your trunk. If you know your weather stripping on your trunk is not great, don't spray a bunch of water into the jam. Come across this side. I'm staying away from my window openings, as you can see, focusing on washing down and off the side of the vehicle. There are little vents inside here. Water will go in here. There's a little drain at the bottom of your door. If you haven't cleaned out the drains on the bottom of your door, I wouldn't spray a bunch of water in there. It's pretty easy to figure out. Just look on the bottom of your door. You should see some little holes. Make sure that they're not blocked and water comes out of them. Okay, I'm going to go up high, push off the center of the hood, right? And continue. Everything I'm doing is pushing off. It's all pushing off of the car. Foamy brush, foamy brush, foamy brush. So this is, when I'm using a foamy brush, I push like I'm sweeping the dirt off, and then I pull this way and do this. There's a reason why I do this. I do this in a different direction than I wipe the car off, and that way I can tell me if the little scratches that I see in my paint are from the car wash or from me. So when I wax my car or wipe my car down, I move this direction. When I wash my car with the brush, I move this direction. So it helps you identify where you're having problems in the way that you're washing your car. So the same thing here, I'm going to go straight across, just like this, sweeping back and forth, pushing and pulling off the top. Come down through here, pull straight across and off. Windshield, same way, all the way across your windshield. You can hold this hose, Adam, if you'd like to help. I have my trusty helper. Sometimes you just got to move a little slower. If you don't have a trusty helper to help you, keep that hose from slamming against the car. Pushing off. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go top to bottom. Slow down a little bit on your chrome. Go through there. Same thing here. Top to bottom. 50% overlap, just like painting a car. Now we actually have the timer running on this, but we are shooting a video at the same time. But it is possible to do this in about 10 minutes, which typically costs you about $5 to $8 at the most. which is comparable to like an automatic car wash, I guess. But your car's not going to get ruined here because you're the one doing it. I guess you could still ruin it, but just be careful. Now we're going to switch over to the high pressure rinse. I'm going to be focusing on, as usual, coming across, starting in the middle, going away and off, right? Staying away from my door openings, staying above my drip rail. Not trying to shoot a bunch of water into the car. Get this area real good. Let go of the trigger. It's a low pressure. Hit the windows with the low pressure. Right? And blow this area off with a low pressure. I'm not trying to blow a bunch of water inside my car or in my door panels. Then turn it back on. And come down from the top. Again, blowing everything is blown off the car. Off and down. So off from the back forward. If you have leaky weather stripping, don't blow hard into those seams. Let go of the trigger and let it just gently push it off. Mine doesn't leak, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, let's hit this other side. Come on, Adam, good job. I'm gonna hit my windows with I'm not gonna pull the trigger, I'm gonna hit my windows, focusing on not shooting into my weather stripping. Gonna get all this soap off of here. Again, sweeping from top to bottom. This takes a second to show up in the spray, but you'll see it and you'll smell it. Because it'll smell better and it'll look better. So you can see it starting to come out. There's like some white, and you can smell like a nice scent. They use good materials here. So again, I'm trying to actually like coat the car. You can see it as the spray wax is like going in there, it starts to resist. You can see that the water's beating off much easier. Same concept here. I'm going to let it low pressure, kind of get my windows real good in this area above my windows here. And now I'm trying to like paint the car, right? I just want to get an even coat of this wax over the whole vehicle. See? And you can see it resisting really well. It's a high quality product. Again, I'm just painting the car, right? Painting the car. All right, and final is a spot-free rinse. This is your best friend here. This is the thing that you won't have at home, but maybe, I mean, you could, but most people don't. And if it's set up right, and this place always has a great spot-free rinse, you're going to be able to rinse your car off and you won't have any spots. And just a light drying, you can rinse it, get on the freeway, kind of get all the water off, and then just lightly dry it, and it'll look great. Now I'm going to go back to my thing where I start in the middle, trying to push off the sides of the vehicle. See? Kind of pushing as much water as I can from the middle outwards to the sides and then down the side of the vehicle. Now again, my angle's pretty high, so I'm not going to spray into the weather stripping, just over it. I'm rinsing, I can go close. This is a real light spray, so I can go close and just get any last dust or debris out of that. If you have a soft bristle brush, you can always hit that with that wall right now while you're doing this. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. Start in the middle, push outwards. Start in the middle, push outwards. Start in the middle, push outwards. Top to bottom. I'm going to go in and get all that cleaner off my wheels and get up in my wheelhouse. Just working my way around the car, rinsing from top to bottom, middle to the outside. Staying away from seams. I'm not trying to shoot any water inside the vehicle, down inside the doors, inside the trunk, any of that. I'm being very mindful of that. I'm also rinsing my wheels, getting any last cleaner. You know, the nice part about a place like this is it may cost you a little bit more, maybe 10 bucks or 15 bucks, but it really allows you to kind of slow down. You have a clean place to work. You're not doing it in your driveway or your front yard. All the water's controlled. It all goes down here. And it allows you to kind of enjoy the process. You have the room and the light and the tools to really enjoy it. The more that you rinse with the spot-free rinse, the shinier and cleaner that your car is going to be, the less water spots it's going to have, and the better it's going to look. This is the biggest value, I think, value aspect of going to a self-serve car wash, is if they're maintaining their system well, like they do here at the Grand Prix Car Wash in Anaheim, California, then it's going to be real easy to dry, and even if you don't dry it very well, the water spots that are left over won't remain. So you have a couple choices at this point. You could simply get on the freeway, or you could drive down the road, and most of the water would blow off. And then after you've blown that water off, you can simply do like a touch-up, kind of dry where there's water left. You shouldn't see a lot of water spots, and most of the standing water on it should just simply wipe off. I'm actually going to pull the car forward, and I'm going to show you guys how to dry a car off with one microfiber. So I'm going to show you guys how to dry a car with one microfiber. It's not even particularly clean. It's fairly clean, but I have done this already once with it, but that's okay. You can use it again. You start in the middle on the top, and you get all the big puddles of water off. This is going to wet the microfiber. It's going to get it so that it's ready to wring. Because after you wring it for the first time, it's going to work about 20 times better than before you wring it. So again, I'm sweeping off as much water as I can off the sides, off the top, kind of spreading it around, but getting it off, getting the big puddles out of the way. Now it's wet. Now this place has this great machine right here. Very useful if you don't have strong hands. But I find this to be a little easier for me. I take the microfiber, fold it in half, fold it in half again, one more time, and wring. This does it. Once the microfiber is dampened, it absorbs water differently than when it's dry. Now, I'm going to dry. It's going to start actually drying and picking up water, whereas it wasn't before. Right? I'm going to do this one more time, which is going to pick up a lot. See, now I've gone from big puddles of water to little droplets, right? And you can see how much water it's picking up compared to how much it was the first time. So again, I'm just getting the big amounts of water off the vehicle. Just so you guys know, this is a Chemical Guys microfiber that I'm using, but it is their standard microfiber. And it's already actually starting to dry quite a bit, but we're going to wipe it down one more time with this after we wring it a couple more times. Look at all that water. You smell that water in there? Crazy, crazy. Watch this, ready? It's like a ShamWow commercial. Just a regular microfiber, they work fine, but you just have to get them damp, and you have to know how to do what you're doing with them. Okay, now at this point, we're gonna want to wring this thing extra good, get it as dry as possible. We might use that thing just to help us. Plus, I'll show you guys how to use it. Fold it in half. You can fold it again if you want, but normally it's easier to fold it in half. Check your direction. Don't get your fingers stuck in there. Go in like that. So at this point, this is my third wipe, but as you can see now, the car is almost perfectly dry. There's just a light, little tiny bit of water on there. I'm gonna get this thing as dry as I can. It's not quite dry enough yet. It's getting there. Just wring it out some more. And I can start getting my detail. Getting stuff clean and perfect. I mean, you can see how the roof is dried, you know, and there's no water spots anywhere. You get my detail stuff here, you know, lift these up, wipe underneath them, wipe around them, do everything slowly, deliberately. There's no rush. It's your car, keep it nice. Don't break stuff. Still pushing off the car, still. I'm not gonna stop doing that. We're not going around in circles here, trying to scratch the paint. Now, I'm not too worried about the sides because I'll get to the sides as like the last thing to do, is to wipe that stuff off after I get my detail stuff done. The fact that you use the spot-free rinse should help with that, so you're not running into any real problems. So, I mean, it's been only a couple minutes, 3-4 minutes at this point, and the car, in all the areas that I've done like my final wipe, there's no, you know, my paint's not perfect. It's original paint on this car, but there's no water spots. You know, it's clean, it's clear, it's ready for like a little wax. And now I'm also focusing on all my little detail items, getting my chrome under the side of the car, wiping stuff off. Now, one of the benefits of using a microfiber over like a chamois or other things is that chamois have like a closed cell structure and they hold like sand and grit, because they're essentially like a kind of like a sponge, so they have round holes in them. The microfiber, it does also pick up some contamination and stuff like that, but mostly because of its towel-like design, you can actually throw it in a washing machine much easier, and you can end up with a much cleaner and much less, you know, apt to hold contamination or dirt item that you're wiping your car off with. Wipe slowly. It's easy to bump your finger against something or cut yourself. Sometimes trim pieces can be sharp. The little edges on windows can be sharp. One of the things that I do when I'm drying is I put the towel over my hand so that my fingertips and the palm of my hand are protected. This way I can come down and I can go around things, because sometimes bumpers can be sharp. And these areas can have stuff like this. It's all stainless steel right here. It's real sharp. It could easily cut you. But by putting my hand inside of the towel, it's much less likely for me to cut myself. Hey, you guys, thanks for joining us. You know, I just wanted to offer some advice. You think you want to do it a different way, please do it a different way. This is what works for me. You got to find out what works for you. But, you know, hopefully this gave you some insight on how to safely wash your vintage car and how to kind of take control over what it looks like, and, you know, how you feel about it, and kind of connect with your vehicle on a special level, you know, where you get to be a part of its maintenance, part of its upkeep. And I hope that you guys see the benefit of using like a self-serve car wash. I think it's really helps with the process. And again, we're at that Grand Prix car wash in Anaheim, California. It's a great place. I actually come here once a week, you know, at least, because I drive my car quite often. And of course, if you have a son that's hardworking like mine, make sure you get him to come help you.